Well, today on Nation, a window cleaners podcast, we're talking all about how and where to find good employees. Hiring is tough in general, so there's just a lot of things that kind of go into it. I got some tips and tricks, and hopefully I can help you get your employees hired and find good ones. So stay tuned to WCR Nation. What's up, everybody? Jersey here from windowcleaner.com, and you are here. What is up? If it's your first time here, have a look around. Hopefully you enjoy things. Hopefully you get something out of it. Or maybe you just want to hang out, talk shop. That's cool too. Yeah, hundreds of episodes. Follow all of that. Oh, by the way, before I forget, if you are on Spotify, leave me a review. That would be phenomenal. Share the show, do all that stuff. If you're not a follower on Spotify yet, click the little plus thing and follow, because, that's a thing. All right, anyway. So we are talking about hiring today. And I know I talk about hiring a lot, but I want to talk about the specifics in hiring good people, because this time of year, there's so many questions on it. There's so many people who are looking for good employees that makes sense. They're tired of hiring just junk, and they're tired of the people that they bring on and then they fire and they can't find somebody and they got to start the whole process over. People are tired of that. It's a very obnoxious thing. Hiring is expensive. And if you don't believe me, you're like, well, no, it's expensive because it takes your time to do it, to interview, to do it, hire, finally, to trial, which is have somebody there. They're not really making money. And then the people who are trading them in the field, if you have other employees, they're also lowering their productivity. It's very expensive. You get to the end of it and you're like, this guy didn't work out. I just wasted a bunch of money. Now I got to start all over. So the first thing, before I even get into it, the first tip I could ever tell you about hiring is always be hiring. Always have the rotation, new things coming in, always doing phone interviews. Even if you're not looking for somebody right now, you could find somebody great, stumble across them, and swap out the lower tier employees with somebody great. But the other thing is if you don't have to start right now, it's 2 weeks before you get somebody even in the door. So you got to put the ad together. You got to put it out there. You got to do phone interviews. You got to schedule it in person. Then after the in person, you got to schedule it. It's a process. So if you could get rid of the process, it makes it a little bit faster. Like, hey, this guy didn't work out. Great. I got another guy trialing in tomorrow. If you don't know what I'm talking about in trialing, we'll talk about that. But it doesn't matter if you're ready to hire your first employee or you're hiring your 10th employee. Hiring kind of is the same process, but I'll tell you, always it's harder to hire that first person, the second person, than it is the 10th person, the 11th person. Then it becomes a process. You're just throwing them in. It's great. It's never easy, but it's easier. It's easier. So hiring your first employee is a bit trickier because you have so many other things that you don't know what they're doing. Can I afford it? Can I do this? Can I do that? What are they doing? They want to find somebody exactly like me, and you never will. And you don't want somebody just like you because you're an entrepreneur. You want to find somebody that is in the same wavelength, the same brain space, the same talk to customers. I hire the person and train the position. Hire the person, train the position is the most valuable thing you could possibly think of. And that whole piece to it is that I'm not trying to find the absolute perfect, this guy is so perfect. This other guy, I don't know. He picked his nose one time. I don't like him. Well, they're not perfect because they don't have a vested interest like you do. Now, you will find great people. Great people. I've had a lot of them. But they're not all great. It's just the process is that everybody has their slot they fit into as far as what they do, what they're good at, what they can produce. And no one is going to be doing the things that you do in your level. You're not going to find a clone because nobody's got the vested interest like you do. If you live or die, it's all based off of the business. Do you succeed? Do you not succeed? There's so much more riding in it, so much more on your plate than anybody else. You're going to find an employee. You're not going to find another you. But I could find great people. I could find somebody who connects with the customer. And that's the person I want. Now, where they fit into the whole hierarchy, that's different. But that's what I'm looking for, is somebody that is a good fit on the personal level. I could teach them what we do. Like, if you want to write me angry emails or texts, you can. But anybody can do window cleaning. I know not everybody can be as great as you window cleaning, but anybody can clean windows. And when I say anybody, 95%. I've had people that I'm like, this isn't for you. But for the most part, anybody can clean windows. But I want to find somebody who could talk to customers, who gives a feeling that I want the customers to have about my company. That's what you're hiring. But how do you find those people? This is like the age-old question. Everybody jumps on every Facebook group and forum, and they're like, hey, where are you guys finding your employees? There's no rock you peel up and there's just a bunch of good employees like, oh my gosh, I would love to work for you for the next 10 years and do great. It doesn't happen. So we have to create an ad and put it out there. Now, here's an interesting thing. An ad that you build for somebody to hire you for window cleaning, you understand the concept. You tell them everything great about your company and why they want to use you. A buying trigger, you know that. But there's also an employment ad. An employment ad is what you put out there so that somebody knows you have a job available. You can put it all over. We'll talk about places, but the ad is what gets people to sign up. And if you're not able to find good people, your ad sucks. And I'll tell you, if in your ad you say anything like this, must be a hard worker, must be a self-starter, must have reliable transportation, must, be good with customers and honest and hardworking. Everyone is honest and hardworking in their head. Everyone is a great employee who shows up on time, is a hard worker. That's ridiculous to even put that in the ad. You wouldn't put an ad out there for window cleaning and be like, must have windows that aren't too dirty, must be easy to get to, must not have bushes, must not have tchotchkes in front of the window, customer must not talk to us while cleaning. You would never put that, right? So why are we putting that in our business ads? This is why your ad sucks. Sometimes, some of you, most of you. I can't find people because nobody wants to work for that. You've told them nothing. Just go into like Indeed, Monster, any of those things, and just type in window cleaner to search, and they're all the exact same. Window cleaner needed in Branson, Missouri. Must have reliable transportation. 40 hours is a must. None of them are making me want to apply for you. An employee needs you more than you need them. Yes, you need them to exist, but they have the option of any other company. They could do anything, especially in the labor sector. They could do a lot of things. So why apply for you? Maybe I've never thought of being a window cleaner, which most people just aren't born thinking about window cleaning. So how do I tell somebody that they want to apply? How do I tell somebody that you're an awesome place to work? Which you are, right? You're not a jerk. You're cool. You're hip. Maybe not hip if you're old like me, but you want to have that in the ad. So I'm not going to put in, must not use drugs. Must not murder fellow coworkers. I'm not putting that stuff in there. Because A, no one's going to tell you the truth anyway, and B, no one's going to be like, this place sucks. I'm not working for them. I'm going to put in there the fun stuff, the cool things. Hey, you want to work outside? Chill in an awesome environment with a great group of guys? Ping pong tournaments? Free lunches on Fridays, right? There's a shop dog and a fully stocked fridge. If you're looking for a place to work that allows you to enjoy what you do, let us know. Here's the pay. Here's the benefits. Here's the perks. Look at how awesome it is to work for me. You're going to get more people apply to that and more people you wouldn't have. Because guess what? They're going to see that and be like, oh, dude, this place looks awesome. They're going to go to the next one and be like, you must not use drugs. Okay, which would you rather work for? Understand that you're trying to sell working for you to somebody who's a potential. It's an ad. You're trying to sell yourself. So many people are just so against that. They just put this weird thing like, well, if I don't put must not use heroin, then I'm going to get a bunch of heroin. No, you're not. That's not what happens. It's like if they do those other things, they're not going to be a good fit. You cannot weed somebody out who is not a hard worker by saying must be a hard worker, because everybody in their head is a hard worker. And even those people who have had 3 jobs already this year and it's March, they're like, yeah, the bosses hate me. Nah, I'm not doing that. That guy wanted me to clean toilets. It's not their fault. It's somebody else's fault. You're not going to weed somebody out. So why waste the space? Why tell everybody about you being a prude and somebody stiff and somebody nobody wants to work for? Because that's not you. You're not doing anything beneficial for your company. So you want to tell them why they want to work for you. That is the absolute key. And the biggest piece to that whole thing is, what is the title? Is your title window cleaner needed in Boise, Idaho? Well, if it is, that doesn't really sound too exciting. Because in my head, I gotta want to be a window cleaner. If I'm like, oh, that, I'm like, I'm not gonna be a window cleaner. If I put something out there and instead, must be awesome, and if you're a Packer fan, it helps, as my title, guess what? I'm going to have so many people open that. I'm going to have so many people be like, what is this? And they're going to find, like, this guy's fun. This is cool. This is a fun place. Because guess what? Everywhere you work, or let me rephrase it, everywhere they work, they're going to get paid, right? Fair? You're not going to be able to pay them $300 an hour. So your pay is not going to blow them away, and that's why they want to work for you. There's a lot of people who have jobs that make a lot of money that hate their jobs. Hate it. The second they could leave that, they would. But there's other people who are like, yeah, I don't make as much because we can't pay as much as, something, being a doctor, I don't know. But it's awesome. I go there, everybody's super chill, it's cool, it's like the vibe, I just enjoy being at work. Like if you put it in there and you sell them on that, you're going to get more people. You're going to get people who wouldn't have applied for a window cleaner, which all of a sudden you're not getting these general turnaround laborers. I used to be an asphalt and I want to be a window cleaner. And like you cuss and smoke, like you got face tattoos. Like I don't need to tell people that, but I could open it up to a whole bunch of things. I know people who have changed their ad alone and they're getting 150 employee or applicants a week. You're like, what? Yeah, that's a lot. Now, there's ways to kind of go in there. When you get so many, if you're getting 3 of them, you can filter all of them yourself. But in a typical ad that we're going to put together and we're going to do amazing at, we're going to get so many, we need to weed them out a little. So what we're going to do is send your resume to this email with the subject line, I am awesome. And now guess what? Every single person who applies through the app or they don't follow the directions, you don't even talk to. Because if they can't even follow the directions, they're not taking this serious. There's a lot of people who just blanket. You're like, oh, this person was like, they made boxes and now they want to work for me, right? You're separating that and you're weeding through things. But you're going to get so many people because they want to work for you. It's going to be amazing for you. And speaking of amazing, shameless plug. That's a good segue, right? I'm a rep for windowcleaner.com. I know you've heard it before, but unfortunately, I don't have every single one of you as a customer yet. So maybe you buy from WCR. I hope you do. We're the greatest place on the planet. Largest inventory in the world for window cleaning on shelves, paid for. Over $10 million of stuff on the shelves, which is mind-blowing. But you could go through me. I could put your orders in. It costs you nothing extra. not a penny extra. I get credit for it. I make sure you get like fitment stuff all works together, got questions. That's what I do. All you got to do is text me and be like, yo, Jersey, it's in my cart. Click save this cart, little underlined text in the checkout. And that's it. I could see it. I could do the rest of it, verify things. I could keep cards, save cards on file for you. I can make sure the gifts are in there. I could just be awesome and then have a resource for you that costs you nothing to have that. Plus, we could build a rapport, huh? We could be buddies. But let me put your orders in. I really would appreciate that. Any and all orders, big ones, small ones, all of them. If you get anything out of this content, man, I really appreciate it. But my number is 862-312-2026. That's my cell phone, so save that. And I went a little long there, so I apologize. Also, check out American Window Cleaner Magazine. It's awcmag.com. Yes, the stickers you've been seeing everywhere, everybody's talking about these stickers. The sticker sheets are from us. I make those. And every month that you get a subscription, or you get a subscription for the year, but every month you get a magazine to your mailbox with a brand new sticker sheet. And the sticker sheet is all window cleaning stuff, and it's just cool. So be a nerd. Also, subscribe to my Spotify, follow me there, and then I have a personal YouTube also, and I would love that. And I keep forgetting, I get yelled at every week. I am now working with Jobber, which is phenomenal. We'll have some great videos coming out, but there's a link in the bio for Jobber. Anyway, okay, back to everything. So we're finding a better employee. We're finding more people want to apply because how we're advertising something is what changes. That is, if you have problems hiring, that's why, is your ad sucks. And so many people are like, no, it's good. No, you think it's good because you made it. Like, that's obvious. It's every ad you've done for window cleaning you thought was amazing and didn't get good thing. I've had people literally tell me, oh, yeah, advertising doesn't work in my area. Yeah, Facebook ads, EDDM, none of it works. I was like, oh, wow. Were you split testing like every day? How long was your split test go for? No, I just like put the ad up and nobody called me. Yeah, because your ad sucked. I don't understand how people think that it is not you. You are in control of everything. Absolutely everything in your life. And I'm not going to get all Tony Robbins on you, but think about that. How is somebody getting 100 people to apply and you can't barely get 3 people who have college or high school degrees even? It's your ad. Who are you talking to? If I put an ad out there and I say, race fans get another, 10% off or something, and it's all race themed and you don't like racing, I'm not speaking to you and I don't get you. I'm only getting race people, right? I mean, an ad can be targeted, so can your employment ad. Like, so many people are like, hey, I want to do, gutter cleaning. You do an ad targeted to people with tall houses and gutters that are clogged. That's who you talk to. If I'm doing residential, I know my avatar is a female between 38 and 60. Okay, that's who I talk to. Well, if you want an employee that's cool, that's can talk and put it out there, you want a great employee, talk to them, put it out there. But you're not going to find a good employee and only hire good employees before these trials, because the person that interviews, I've had people, the worst interview I ever did was the best employee I've ever had, because during the interview there was 3 of them scheduled that day, no one else showed up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need somebody like this dude sucks. I'll just hire and see what it goes. He was fantastic. He sucks at interview. I asked him later, like a couple years later, we were joking about it. And he's like, dude, I was so nervous, man. I was hungover from the day before, and I just knew I felt bad. And I was like, yeah. I interviewed him on a Monday, and it was the Sunday of, I think it was the Super Bowl Sunday. I didn't think of it that way, but he was a big football guy. Anyway, everybody will always be different than they are in their interview. So we're not trying to find a crew chief. we're trying to find another CEO of the no, what I'm trying to find is an employee that's great. Because once I start getting people in, now I move them around. Talk to any person, 100% of the people who have employees, talk to any one of them. And they will tell you that, oh, man, Bill here, he's been with us for 6 months, but he's freaking awesome. He is so good. He's leading things. He's helping the guys. He's leadership quality. I know I could put him into a leadership role. Awesome. I hire this guy, Brian. He's good. He's just a hard worker, but he's kind of in his own thing. He kind of stays to himself, but man, he's a hard worker. Great. He's a laborer. He's a tech. He's going to be a great tech. He's not going to be a leader. You cannot make somebody who is not a leader into a leader. It will suck. I've tried. In fact, I've tried with a guy that I had working for me for 6 years. And for the last 2, I tried to get him in leadership. Tried. The guy just did not get leadership. He understood if I gave him a toothbrush and said, clean that, he'd be like, yes, absolutely. And he'd get it done. Fantastic. But he always needed direction. No matter how many tries we worked on and did, he just wasn't a leader. And that was absolutely awesome. He was still a fantastic person to have in our team. But he wasn't a leader, and he was okay with that, and I was okay with that. Don't force it, and you cannot hire for that. You're hiring somebody who would be great for the company because of the way that they talk. The customer is going to feel at ease. They're going to be able to, and then we're going to work him into the role that it falls into place. Now, the only time you're doing that is like, okay, I'm hiring an admin. Okay, I want to have somebody who can really talk on the phone well because they're going to be doing that. But that's the only thing. If I'm having techs, they're going to be rotating and finding out who they, what position they are, what they do better, what they like in the services. They're always going to be moving to what makes sense. So don't think you're hiring like, well, this guy, I don't know. He just, I told him to do this thing and he didn't. It's like, okay, breathe. Like you think that's what happens with employees. Like, especially in the beginning, they don't know what they're doing. And a lot of times they got to figure things out. Everybody does. Doesn't mean they're bad. Give them a little bit of chance. Now, where do you find people? This is the biggest question. Where do you find people? Where are you guys finding people? Well, I'll tell you. There's free and there's paid. And I'll tell you the best place for free, I think, is Facebook. When you have a Facebook page, Facebook pages talk to the masses. You can put in there, we're looking for great techs. If you like just working outside with the sun on your face, working with a great group and your pictures just you guys all laughing, if you know anybody, let us know. Will be the best thing that happens to them this year. I can do that for free. I can post that. I can go and find groups, right? Military vets in my town or whatever, mommy groups or all these groups. Who am I trying to talk to? Well, I want to put it out there and just show people and get it out. I want to be so awesome that they're passing it around. Facebook is great for that, and it's free. If you put something out there, though, and you're not split testing the ad, you're not changing it, that doesn't make any sense. It's like fishing, throwing your worm in, and then just sitting there for 10 hours, never once reeling it in, never changing the worm, never moving positions. Like, even if you don't fish, you understand that that's not how you do it. You have to split test, right? Paid, there's Indeed, there's Monster. Those places are finding a different type of person also because they're typically not just labor jobs. But guess what? I'm going to find laborers, but I'm going to put it in so that I get a higher caliber than just some guy who just goes between, roofing company and asphalter. Maybe those guys are great, so don't let me poo on that. But I want to find everybody. Indeed and Monster, put something out there, but put that title. Hundreds of thousands of jobs. Put a title that breaks the noise and makes people read it. There's no joke, I've had this on ads that I've done that have been so good for like just normal ads that people send me messages like, dude, I don't even need this. I don't even live in your state, but it came across as fantastic. Just want to let you know. I've had probably half a dozen people message me in ads. They were like, hey, like I am, a nurse by trade, so this isn't really my position, but I just wanted to say how awesome your ad is. It sounds like a great place, and I hope you find somebody. Like, if you go out of your way to say that, it's pretty good. Do that. Monster and Indeed. I'm going to put the title so good, it makes people who would never look at window cleaner needed in Boise, Idaho, would never click. That's how you find these great people. How are you finding all these people? That's why. Make it interesting. You're advertising. You're trying to sell why they want to work at your company, your business. Put it out there that way. Those are great options. Facebook, Indeed, Monster. Those are paid ones. But think outside the box. Again, like an ad should be everywhere. You're not always going to be great other places, but what if they're free? What if there is like a military place in your town where people, when they get out of the military, can go? Maybe there's a job board there. Maybe there's a job board in, the college in your area. Maybe there's another place that you can tap into that people of who you're looking for. It'd be great to get somebody young. It's got energy. It's not tired. Where do you find that? Think about those posting boards. You could put that in a lot of places. You can put your job out on LinkedIn. People who are in the corporate world in LinkedIn may find your stuff. You didn't even think about it, that people were looking at that, but they come across it. Like, the part of being everywhere in an ad makes sense. Like, just like advertising your business, if you can advertise everywhere and it was free, then you would advertise everywhere, right? You just would. That's the same thing with advertising your job. You want to put it everywhere people would be. What about in your envelope? When you give your invoice to your customers, envelope with a bunch of stuff, I hope. What if you put in there, know somebody looking for a great opportunity? Have them join the team. We're a fun place. Like, they just got a great experience. They talked. They knew you guys were personable and fun. And man, this would be great for I got a nephew who would be great. You would love this. These guys were so cool. It just seemed like such a great job. You want to try? You have customers. Why not put it out there? Why not advertise everywhere that you possibly can for your company? If you just put something out there like, I paid $400 for this ad and I hope it works, maybe. You're not hitting it out of the park the first time. You can't do that in an ad for your company. You can't do that in an ad for your employment. It is an employment ad. You're selling yourself. The last piece to this, to make everything work, I want to get as many people in because I can be super tight and find people, but I want to start trialing people. What does that mean? I'm going to have them work for me for a week. Now, check your local area and the government, and there's a certain dollar amount you got to stay under. Otherwise, you have to 1099 them or employ them. But if you're under that dollar amount, then it is. And don't hold me to it, but I want to say it's $6.99, maybe. I think right now. Anyway, haven't checked in a while. But if you pay under that amount, check your local listings, then you do not have to give them actual employment. You do not have to give them a 1099. It's just basically, hey, come try us out. I would love to see how you work with the crews. We're going to put you in for a week and see how you do. Boom. Guess what? Day one, they're usually pretty great because it's day one. Day two to day four, for the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they will be more real. You will see who they really are. Do they work with your crew? Are they personable? Are they awesome? Do they talk on their phone all day? Are they lazy? You can tell a lot. Yes, people could fake you for a week. I know. But you can also get a feel. They get a feel for you. They know how you do it. After that whole thing is done, if you already have employees and you embedded them, the employees you already have, they'll be able to tell you right away, hey, how'd he do? Hey, you did all right. It's good. Dude, it's awesome. Like, they can tell you. Specifically, if you're by yourself, you'll be able to see that when you have them hanging out with you. Well, that's expensive. Pay them for a week. They're not going to really do too much. Yeah, it's expensive to hire. Remember what I said. The trial is the most important part to this entire process because I want to have a feel for you before I hire you. I do not ever want to hire somebody from a phone interview because I can't tell if you have face tattoos or, all those other things that I just don't want to have in my company. Maybe that's one of them. Maybe, and I hired a guy that was 5'1". We had a very big talk in the beginning, like, dude, you are awesome. I want to have you here, but this is going to be tricky for you, He's like, yeah, absolutely. Everything's tricky in my life. Let's do it. 2 weeks later, we realized it wasn't a good fit for either of us. He brought it to me and I brought it to him, kind of thing. So the trial allowed us to know that. The trial is the part of this puzzle that makes the most sense. But remember, we put an ad up. We waited. We phone interviewed. We scheduled an interview, and then we did the trial. That's 2 weeks already. A week for the trial, a week for the advertising. That's the best case scenario. If all of this stops, and at the end of the week, it's like, this guy sucks, and I wasn't continuing or always hiring, I'd be like, welp, I got to start all over. Maybe in 2 weeks we'll have somebody. You have to always be having the people in rotation. Get guy 1 into the field. Have guy 2 ready to be in the field. Maybe they're trialing together, but not on the same crew. If you got a couple people, you're trialing more than one. If not, you're trialing after that. And I've done this, I know it's not perfectly capable, but if you get to the point where you want to have somebody in the field and trialing them, more than likely you already thought they were great. And if you're just proved that they're great, you're going to hire them after the week. Well, what do I do with these other guys? Do you need more employees? Are you ever going to need more employees? Maybe throw them in a trial. If they can't trial, then keep them on your list. I've already done the phone interview. Here's all my notes. Here's my whatever. If this other guy doesn't work out and it's a month later, I got this guy, hey, Jared, we talked about a month ago, and unfortunately we had already hired somebody at the time, but I thought you were great and I'd really like to get you in a trial. Are you still looking for something? Yeah. Well, great. Well, we'd love to get you in a trial. I've done all that. I can put them right into a trial. But that's always be hiring. Don't put it out there, get one person, go, nope, and then start the whole process over again. That is the most time-consuming and wasteful thing that you could do in your business for employees. But think about this. We're going to recap. You need to hire the person, not the position. Train the position. You need to advertise why somebody should work for your awesome, amazing company. Why do you want somebody great? The people with options do not choose a place that doesn't sound fun because they got options. They know they're awesome. The people who don't have options and like, I just need a job, man. Everybody hire me. Those are the guys that apply for everything. You want the better caliber person. I'm telling you. Hire the person, not the role. You'll get them into the role that they need. It takes time. Once you find those good people with a great ad that tells them why they should work for you, trial them. Find out who they really are. And there you go. You've just now increased all of your employment. It's easier for you. You're getting better employees. And now you're as awesome as these companies that you see. And you're like, dude, all your guys, I met a bunch of your guys. They're so awesome. Yeah, they're good at hiring. It's not your area. It's not your people. It's not your whatever. It's your ad that sucks. You're not getting people because of that. I'm telling you. Anyway, that's it. I'm off my high horse for the week. But as always, I am a sales rep for windowcleaner.com. And that's how I afford my lavish lifestyle is by putting orders in. Because I get credit for orders and it costs you nothing extra. So 862-312-2026. Please call me. Text me. Even better. I'm on the phone all day long. Text me, let me know what I can do for you, and I'd love to put your orders in. Also, on another note of loving things, go to the American Window Cleaner magazine, AWC. It's a real paper magazine. If you're not watching this video, the magazine is fantastic. It's so good. It's such a good read, but it's also just like visually awesome. It's so much time goes into it. So, plus a sticker sheet. You've seen them all over. Everybody's hot on the stickers. You can buy the stickers just by themselves too. awcmag.com. Go get that subscription. It's $69 for a year for the magazine, and you're helping the industry. So there you go. Also, follow me on Spotify, follow my personal YouTube page, all of those things I'm supposed to tell you, but more importantly, until next week, hopefully you get this hiring thing going. But more importantly, hopefully you're out there being epic.